Good day, everybody. Brian here from quantlabsnet.com. In this video, we're going to talk about the new, hopefully final project I've been working on for the last 3 days. It's 100% in C++. So let me give you some highlights here. And as I said, what's been worked on is 100% C++. It's quite quick. All the strategies designed in C++ or bots, whatever you want to call them, are pretty optimal, pretty quick, trying to create C++ principles here. So let's go check it out. All right, so before I start, on my YouTube channel at Quant Labs, I had put up a variety of videos here. You can see how institutions use AI to trade futures, why you're, I'm sorry, how this is the important one, how to convert Python trading bots to C++. Um, so that's building on top of what we have here. But instead of using the JavaScript front end, what we're doing here is the application is 100% C++. So here it is. So what you're looking at right now are, I don't know, 5 bots running against live data. Obviously, we're running with the S&P Mini, so that's getting a lot of movement. We've got here ES. We've got the MicroNASDAQ. So some of these are still buggy, but I just want to show you an overview of this application. It's pretty surprisingly good. I could talk forever about it. All right, so let's talk about the first thing. We have this thing called the server. So basically what that does, this is the gateway into the world of Rhythmic. Now with Rhythmic, um, in C++. Now, this is built on top of Windows. Originally, I thought you need C++ to connect into the Rhythmic Trader Pro software. And the AI double take, triple take said, no, you can do it right through their servers directly, like similar to Python. So that was quite interesting. So that's a server. So I have to activate that first before I do anything else. So here's just some sample bots that I've played with. Um, these are been generated over the last 3 days. So let me just explain how this came about. Again, AI generated. Um, and when got my hands on Kimi K3, I was able to generate about, again, 75% of it, all 100% C++. And in here, I'm able to pick up all of the Python bots that I've shown in my prior videos. I'll show you a lot of those in this particular app. So here we have E-mini S&P AI rotation hedging. So you can see it's running. It's been running for 39 minutes. It's a short. And here we've got a generation 2 bot mean reversion running as well. And I don't like shorting. We're just testing here. Copper as well, and so on. We have a a variety of different bots here. Okay. So there's that. So also, if you want to check out my blog here, if you go into quantlabsnet.blog, I purposely did that. If you go under my groups or forum, what I've got here is a forensic overview, again, generated by AI. I mean, I don't know why people don't like AI and want people like me to waste my time doing analysis when AI can do it for you. So here's our first forensic study on those bots that I mentioned. Um, so it goes through all the different conditions of the bots, what they've done, what's been analyzed. So that's a full-on analysis from last night. So we're now doing a new batch with ES bots as well, just to see what the data is like, and we're gonna be testing this thing forever. Okay, so we have all these kind of bots running, and these bots are written and been converted into C++. They're transpiled. That's why it looks pretty peppy. Okay, pretty quick. Okay. So we've got running bots here. Okay. We've got the server running here, the engine. Okay. So let me walk you through the other parts. So let me start here in the HTML or the reports. So in here, I can pick off uh, pretty well any they call it the AI calls it a repository of any past folders of bots that have been run in the Python pipeline. So here's an example. So this is pre-analysis of July 7th. Okay. Um, we also have here another analysis as well. So that's all built into this bot. So July 8th as well. Okay. So we have that all launched from within C++ again. We have the HTML. Again, these are the old HTMLs I used to have. So we have here the symbols that are all available on the CME as well. We've got a lot of it's so much. It's why I've been quiet for the last few days. Let me see here. So again, trading analysis for particular um, points of entry of news analysis. Anyways, fun stuff. So here's the settings of the whole thing. So here we can work with spreadsheets, PDFs, different reports. We have 41 Python strategies. We've got transpile to C++. So let me show you that. So these are just some examples I've been working with. Okay, so these are some different 41 different strategies I can work with. So as an example here, let me pick this one off. Silver future crash rebound. So the let's see if it no, it doesn't do it. But here's the source code in for this trading bot, and this is going to be working with my old Python environment. Okay, so here it's in Python, but now if I open the folder, this is where it lives. So in here will be that strategy, this one here. Okay, so if I do the transpile to C++, so I'm converting that C++ now into into C++. So it's doing it right now. So it's analyzing the source code in Python. It's building it, and then over time, what will happen is um, it will. This looks like a pretty big one. So if it's successful, it will create the C++ version of it. So in here, that's what we have here. So all of these that run are C++ self-contained C++ programs. I mean, to get to this point took a bit of time. The Kilo K3 could not build this conversion. I had to go back to the latest version of Opus, really Opus 4.8, which is where it got very expensive, but I got it working here. So here, this silver bot now has been converted over into um, our C++. How did it do it? Now remember, I'm running this on Windows. I really don't think I'll move it over to Linux. Just it's kind of a pain doing it back and forth. But it's using the Microsoft Visual C tool set, um, and you can see it's successful. So if I want here, I could look at this particular strategy here. So this would be like a self-contained Visual Studio, Visual VS Code project. And in here, we've got the actual exe right here. Okay. So that's ready to go. So I'm able to here under the release. Oh no. It's ready to go and to be able to be run within this application if I want. So people say, well, what's the source code like? That's still a work in progress, but I'll just show you some examples here. So you can see here standard Visual Studio artifacts. Okay. And let's just see if we can find the source. So here, I believe, yeah, these are the different releases. Um, let's see here where we got. So here's our make file. I'm sure I could probably load this up into, hmm, I haven't done this before to look at the actual source code. Anyways, yeah, but it's done. The source code is in there somewhere. I'll do that as a separate video anyways, but it does exist. And if I go into my bots here and I do I think this should, there's our silver bot ready to go. So I could start that. Okay, so now it's going to start working with silver. So the silver's now running, just launched 6 seconds, and we can see what it does. Okay, so that's pretty powerful to be able to do that with advanced AI. To do that with hand coding, I guess I don't know how many weeks, months this would take to get to this point. Remember, I started this 3 days ago from scratch. Um, and as I said, everything's 100% in C++, plus plus, and the transpiling right here is done in C++ plus plus as well. And again, I have to repeat is that I had to build this process in with the latest Opus 4.8. I just Kimi Key3 couldn't do it for whatever reason, and it got very expensive to do this. So we have different sessions here. I got to work on that. The console right here is a general server console. You can see it's running fairly quickly as well. Because again, it's C++. Again, here I talked about strategies. Now, here, each of these strategies have their Python code right here, and then I can transpile it into C++, as I shown before with that silver. Any of these. Some of these are very old. Well, I'll say they're going back as far back as April. So all the updates I had to do to convert them to where everything's at right now to properly transpile into C++ or convert into C++. Part of the process building it out was I had to modernize it and make sure it got the right futures contract and so on and so forth. All right, so we have all that. We have the reports I've shown you. I've shown you the HTML reports. I've kind of shown you that. This is where it gets very interesting. So right now we have today's July 24, right? So in here we have all the different bots, all the different column repositories, live trading, 3, 4, all one. So there's a couple of thousand bots in here. So if I rescan, let's see. So it's really fast. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. So we have the most recent here of July 22nd. And in here we have our individual strategies, the different trading bots in Python that were created in that batch. And we have the direction, the Sharpe ratio for each of these bots, the win ratio, max drawdown, annual return, estimated P&L, and the grade, and the focus of where it's at. So again, these are all futures and options, as you can tell. There's no single stock. So here, there's a description of what the strategy does, blah, 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 blah. And again, I can load this in for every day. So here, let's choose June 23rd. So these are the ones generated on that day. Has an average. So for that day, we have the average Sharpe ratio 1.72, average return, blah, blah, blah. And these are all back tested, as I've shown before, against real market data through Rhythmic. Okay. So there's that. So now this is the exciting part. So we have here the bot summary. Okay. And this is the more exciting part here is the bot ranking. So what this will go through right here. We have over 2020 trading bots, okay, listed here now. Okay. Out of that, these are only the profitable bots, okay, that have a Sharpe ratio of something. We also have a score out of 100, kind of like a composite score against all the Sharpe, wind, backs, drawdown, grade, and so on. The direction, if it's long, short, or short only. We have the symbol it focuses on. Okay. So um, this enables me to get a kind of quick snapshot on what's been trading pretty well at that time when these bots were created right here. So we have here from early June, May, April, and so on. When you see a G2, that's a generation two trading bot. But again, I have all of this built into my massive spreadsheet and my massive PDF document that is, well, a couple hundred pages of all the analysis done. This is just a quick snapshot of everything in one spot in this application here in the C++. So yeah, that's pretty well everything. Part of the other thing is, here. Part of the other thing is when it comes to this type of application, trying to put live charts and visualization, it's not worth it. Um, because it can slow down what you've seen running because there's live trading strategies with live market data against a live Rhythmic server running. So I'm not going to slow down by having to generate a trading chart. So I can easily build other applications. If it's probably JavaScript's the better because it's the best at charting. And just look at the logs that are generated, as I shown with that forensic study as well. So in my mind, this is probably the most advanced I've pushed it. On this on that little survey I did a few weeks ago, where 60+% wanted everything in C++. I'm still not going to touch any of my Python because I don't think you can get better than what I've got. It works beautifully. So all that analysis will be put up on the my blog, on my group forum, as I shown earlier. Let me just go back to my screen here. So what I'm referring to here uh, is this here, my group. Okay, so just come under again quantlabsnet.com. Some of it's public. If you go under here under forum, which is the same as a group, this will take you to this page I showed earlier. So I'm going to put content there. Some of it will be private again for my quant analytics. And not only that, but again, the Substack stuff that I just launched a couple of weeks ago. This is where it gets very interesting. Okay, so I have my website here, right? So again, this whole website was on the gist of analyzing market data and seeing what opportunities exist in this website, or what opportunities exist at the tick level for a variety of different assets out there in the futures and options market. So my first stab at it was this right here, rewritten. Again, AI, you can run the tools against this Substack and see if it's run by AI. It is. Um, but you can see here, this AI is so good at saying where the opportunities lie, the notes, the lessons learned from this type of market data, and being able to apply that to live trading systems. That's what makes this publication on Substack very unique, okay? Because it's using AI to generate all the HFT tick level stuff again from market from the markets via Rhythmic, and then be able to analyze it and talk about what it sees as where opportunities lie. So right now, as I'm running this, we're running ES, let's say. So now we got 91,000 events and some other ones, you know, not doing well, but I'll be able to run forensic studies and put them in this spot on Substack at the new edge, sorry, the Orderbook Edge.com. Okay. So there's that possibility there as well. So I just want to show everything where everything's at. Everything's going up again. I've also wanted to mention the hftcode.com site. This has been evaluated so people know. These little cheap little packages here are going up as well. From what I'm seeing, I'm going to probably market these on Meta for 200, $300. This one and a career one as well. And if you're trying to follow along with what I'm doing, the best thing I can do for you is start here and get that package because that will help you from a working coding base to be able to build out a basic trading system that's algorithmic based and AI. Okay. All working with interactive brokers. So out of that, I've also mentioned this. If you go to my uh, blog as a premier service, what I'm able to do is to do this. Now, I've just started doing this as an experiment. So if you go here, there's these two articles I just put up. So in here, what I've done is uh, to help people to really narrow down their prompting when you have a working algorithmic trading system like this. You can now use my pseudocode that I'll be able to generate. So this will, as an example, from one of an ES put ratio spread trading bot with VIX involved, and it's a hedger. So all the blurb about it. But this is where it gets very, very exciting for people. So you could actually take this article itself and feed it in as part of your prompt. But not just that, but you're now able to take the pseudocode, okay, complete pseudocode walkthrough, initialization on the data, and then you can have the mathematical helpers. Then you can add in the volatility and regime measurement, dynamic risk sizing, all the logic that you'd want, option structure construction, making Greeks and delta rebalancing. This is part of the strategy, the trading rules, position accounting, main market data loop, okay? Run loop and startup. Okay, so you're able to take that pseudocode and build out your own creating strategies with this for my stuff. It could be done in Python and it can also be done now in C++, as I've shown you, and I'll be running live, I won't say, but in C++ now. All right, so the other one, so that was an ES one, which is S&P 500. So this one's the Bitcoin one. Okay, similar thing, has its own strategy in here as well. And again, you can see we can do the same thing with pseudocode. Initialization, market, data ingestion, okay, Redis, if you're using Redis, and I strongly recommend you do that. So this particular trading bot is a Bitcoin, sorry, Ethereum Bitcoin ratio strategy that could work. We're using average true range, MACD, synthetic volatility regime, synthetic VIX with all the pseudocode here, dynamic loss limit, circuit breaker for safety, CME maintenance window, stale feed, guard pseudocode. That's very important, as I learned yesterday to build this thing. Signal generation pseudocode, and here's all the indicators: RSI, Donchian, VWAP, SED score. I mean, it's incredible. Position sizing pseudocode, entry logic pseudocode. Okay, trade entry execution. Okay, so you could use position management pseudocode, trailing stop and scale out targets as part of the pseudocode. Trade, exit, P&L calculation pseudocode, session level profit lock pseudocode. Okay, so you can use this pseudocode as you can use this pseudocode as part of building out your own custom trading bots once you get your plumbing right. If you go with interactive brokers, and if you're doing, as I said before, if you're going to do with futures and options, not recommended. I would only recommend Rhythmic from what I'm seeing because it's cleaner network uh, throughput for all the Ethereum. Sorry, all the market data as I shown here. So you've seen it, but it's much cleaner, and so you can use now the pseudocode and build out a workable trading system, be it interactive brokers with what I provided and plus the other one for Rhythmic. Now, people are going to ask, why don't I do the equivalent with the hftcode.com that's built for interactive brokers? Why don't you provide something like that for Rhythmic? I'm not allowed to. Terms of service do not allow me to show stuff like that because of that. And interactive brokers, they don't seem to care about that in their terms of service because everyone has third party solutions to interactive brokers, which is fine. but the preferred way obviously is with Rhythmic. If you want to be a serious futures and options trader. So that's what I've got, man. It's very exciting, but all this is not going to be on the cheap because these are fairly complicated strategies. And as I've hinted a week ago, my course that I've been using to get to this point is now $5,000. Like that's the cost because this is all institutional level stuff. This is what the institutions are now doing. So that's where we're at. If you want, get in on whatever before the prices go up even further as things move ahead very quickly. But now we got an HFT kind of system built in C++, and people are going to go, are you ever going to release it? No, I won't. It's only for my own use. And again, the reason why, if I was to put this out there, then I got to get dragged into supporting people and blah, 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 which I just don't want. I am a kind of person that says, here's the solution, here's a workable solution, use it as a base. And now in the world of AI, you can now generate all this stuff with pseudocode as part of your prompting to get exactly what you want. But, you know, that's the way of the future now. Over and out. Thank you for watching.